Hello and welcome. In the previous lecture, we have seen the types of security attack. In this lecture, we will see about the security services. As you know, security services uses one or more security mechanism to counter the security attack. Now, what are the different types of security services? The different types of security services are: first one is availability. Availability means here it will provide the assurance that there will not be any interruption. Interruption means there is one sender, one receiver, and one hacker. So whatever the message that is transmitted from the sender, all the messages will be received by the receiver. There will not be any interruption. So interruption in the message from sender to receiver, that assurance is given in your availability services. The second services is confidentiality. Confidentiality, it ensures that there will not be any interception. Interception means when the message is transmitted from sender to receiver, there is one hacker is there. So when the message is transmitted from sender to receiver, no hacker can able to access the message. So this assurance is given that whenever the message is generated at the transmitter end, at the sender, it will be completely reaching to the receiver without the interruption or interception of the hacker. The third one is integrity. Integrity means here they are giving the assurance of there will not be any modification of a message. Means what is happening, that sender is sending the message. It may be possible that hacker may interfere in between. He can do the modification of message and then he will retransmit it to the receiver. So this type of thing will not be there. The assurance is given in these services. So this is the integrity. Fourth one is authentication. Authentication means here they are giving the assurance that there will not be any false message transmitted from the hacker to the receiver. Means there will not be any fabrication of message from the hacker to the receiver pretending as if he is the sender. So that assurance is given. Fifth one is your non-repudiation. Non-repudiation means if the message is sent from the transmitter, it is received by the receiver end, and whenever this transaction is taking place, after that neither the sender nor the receiver can deny about these services. Means nobody can say that sender cannot say that he has not sent the message, and receiver cannot say that he has not received the message. This assurance is provided in your non-repudiation services. Sixth and final one is your access control. In access control, here we are providing the ability to control the access to the individual. So first the individual has to authenticate his identity, and depending upon his authentication, the different level of access will be generated, or tailor-made access rights will be made by the security services. So here we can take one example, that say suppose if a student is there, if he is showing his identity, so he is prevented from entering to the examination branch, or say suppose if the exam is going on, he is prevented from entering in another examination hall. On the other hand, if there is observer, he has to show his identity, his authentication. If the observer is showing his identity, he is having the access to any other examination hall. So he can move from one examination hall to another examination hall. He is having the authority. He is having that he has shown his identity, and because of that authentication he got the access control. Similarly, if there is some flying escort that is coming from the university side, he is showing his identity, his authentication, then he is having the right to visit the different examination hall in different colleges. So if we are seeing the student, the observer and the flying escort from the university, they are having the different access. Now summarizing your security services. So security services, we are having availability, we are having confidentiality, we are having integrity, we are having authentication, we are having non-repudiation, and finally the access control. These are the different security services that are provided by the organization. This activity can be done either by the third party, or it may be made, these services may be made by the organization itself. Now, as we are having these different security services, it is not necessary that any organization will need only one security services. Depending upon the type of requirement, the organization can go for 2 or more security services. If we are requesting for 2 or more security services, or as the number of security services are more, we have to pay more to that third party. Suppose if we are telling that we need the security services only for authentication, so then we have to pay less. If some organization is saying that we want security services not only for authentication, we want for access control, confidentiality, integrity also, so there the charges will be more. Thank you.